Ben Johns just did something that should make every serious pickleball fan pause. After 9 years of basically the same service motion, he changed it. Not a paddle switch, not a partner swap, not a new "I'm working on my mindset" quote, the serve. And then, in that same time window, he walked into the SXY Newport Beach Open and left with 2 titles. Men's doubles with Gabe Tardio, mixed doubles with Anna Leigh Waters. So here is the real question. When the most copied player in pickleball changes a fundamental after nearly a decade, what does that tell us about where the sport is heading? And what does it change for the next PPA stop? Because the drama angle is not Ben won again. The drama angle is this. The GOAT is not in maintenance mode. He is still actively rebuilding parts of his game. And in pickleball, when the reference point shifts, the entire ecosystem shifts with it. Amateurs copy it the next day. Other pros have to prepare for it the next week. Coaches start teaching it differently. Content creators dissect it. Sponsors watch it. And opponents feel it immediately, even if they cannot explain why. So today, we are going to break down what happened at Newport Beach, what the serve change actually is, why it matters beyond one weekend, and the 2 scenarios that could play out next. And at the end, I want you to answer this in the comments. Do you think this serve change is a sign Ben is preparing for a real singles comeback? Or is it mostly about making his doubles and mixed dominance even harder to break? Let's start with the context, because Newport Beach gives us a clean snapshot of the current pickleball landscape. Ben Johns wins men's doubles at Newport Beach with Gabe Tardio. Ben Johns wins mixed doubles at Newport Beach with Anna Leigh Waters. And at the same event, Hunter Johnson wins men's singles. Those results matter because they highlight the split that fans have been debating for a while. In doubles and mixed, Ben still looks like Ben. He still looks like the player who can find solutions in real time, who can neutralize chaos, who can protect a lead when the match gets tight. But in singles, the story has changed. Ben is currently ranked around number 11 in PPA singles. And yes, he has been number 1 across divisions before. So if you are a fan, that ranking forces you to ask a question. Is Ben stepping away from singles because the field is deeper and the schedule is heavier? Or is he stepping away from singles because he is strategically choosing where to spend his physical and mental bandwidth? Now add the serve change on top. Suddenly, the question becomes sharper. If Ben is changing his serve after 9 years, he is doing it for a reason. And the reason is almost never just because. So what exactly changed? The basic description that circulated this week is that Ben moved from a more stationary serve into a step-in motion. That sounds simple, and it is, but the effect can be huge. A stationary serve relies more on timing, arm speed, and shoulder stability. A step-in serve allows weight transfer. It allows momentum. It allows the kinetic chain to do more of the work. In plain English, you can hit a heavier serve without swinging harder. And when you do not have to swing harder, you can repeat the motion more consistently. That is the key. Because in pickleball, the serve is not about aces. It is about the first 4 seconds of the point. If your serve is deeper, the return is slightly weaker. If the return is slightly weaker, your third shot window gets cleaner. If your third shot window gets cleaner, the entire rally becomes easier to control. In doubles, that sequence is everything. Now here's the part that makes this not normal. Ben Johns is not the kind of player who changes mechanics casually. If Ben changes a fundamental after 9 years, there are only a few plausible reasons. 1. He found a ceiling in the old motion. 2. His body is telling him the old motion is not sustainable. 3. The competitive environment is forcing him to find a new edge. Or 4. It is a combination of all 3. And any of those explanations should make you pay attention, because it means Ben is looking forward, not backward. Now let's run through the fact pack quickly, and then we will get into why this matters. Fact 1. Ben Johns wins men's doubles at Newport Beach with Gabe Tardio. That pairing matters because Gabe represents the younger wave. More pace, more aggression, more willingness to attack small windows. Ben brings structure. Gabe brings pressure.
If you are an opponent, you cannot just solve Ben. You also have to survive Gabe's speed-ups, his hand battles, and the chaos he creates when points break down. Fact 2. Ben wins mixed doubles with Anna-Leigh Waters. This partnership continues to look like the sport's most stable endgame. When the match gets tight, they rarely panic, they rarely give away free points, and they know exactly when to take risk. Fact 3. Ben's serve change is described as switching from stationary to stepping into the serve, using more body weight and momentum. Again, that is not a cosmetic change. That is a repeatability and pressure change. Fact 4. Hunter Johnson wins men's singles at the same event. That matters because it reinforces a reality. Singles is not on pause. Singles has moved. The pace is higher. The field is deeper. The weekly grind is real. Fact 5. Ben is currently around number 11 in PPA singles. That ranking does not erase his legacy, but it changes the conversation. It creates what-if questions. It creates is he done with singles debates. And now the serve change adds fuel. Fact 6. Anna-Leigh Waters hits another career marker, reaching Triple Crown number 41 at Newport Beach. That is Anna-Leigh's storyline, but it also connects to Ben because it shows how locked in their mixed results still are. When that team is rolling, it gives Ben room to experiment elsewhere. Now, why does any of this matter beyond Newport Beach? Because this is not just a Ben Johns story. This is a meta story, and the meta affects everyone. Let's break it down in 3 angles. Angle 1, tour and league impact. The PPA schedule does not give you time to process. You have one weekend, then the next stop is here. When Ben changes something and wins immediately, opponents face a weird problem. They can watch film, they can study patterns, but they cannot know what is permanent and what is experimental. Is the step-in serve the new standard? Is it matchup specific? Is it a tool he uses under pressure? That uncertainty matters, because practice time is currency. If you think you might see Ben next weekend, you now have to spend reps preparing for heavier, deeper serves. You have to test your return positioning. You have to decide whether you take returns earlier or let them drop. You have to build a plan for how to keep Ben from getting comfortable on the third shot. And every representative you spend on that is a representative you are not spending on something else. That is how the tour shifts, not with giant announcements, with little choices that force everyone else to reallocate time. Angle 2, player and team economics. Ben Johns is not just a competitor. Ben is an economic engine. He moves attention, he moves products, he moves narratives. When Ben changes a mechanic, people interpret it as more than improvement.
They interpret it as a signal that the sport's default is changing. That is why amateurs will copy this serve immediately, because most amateur players do not want to invent their own style. They want the safest blueprint, and Ben has been the safest blueprint for years. So if Ben is stepping into the serve, coaches will start teaching weight transfer harder. Instructional clips will explode, and suddenly you will see a wave of players trying to add free power without swinging harder. That matters commercially too. When more players serve harder, the conversation shifts. Now people care more about control under pace. They care more about stability. They care more about handling speed-ups. Equipment brands notice those shifts. They always do. Again, I am not saying Ben changed his serve to sell anything. I am saying the ecosystem reacts because Ben is the reference point. Angle 3, competitive ripple. This is the one fans feel in their gut. If Ben's serve becomes heavier and more repeatable, it changes the first 3 shots. It will not show up as a highlight. It will show up as small advantages. A return that floats half a foot higher. A return that lands 1 foot shorter. A return that forces the receiver to contact the ball from an awkward base. And then Ben does what Ben does. He turns small advantages into control. Now add partnership context. In men's doubles with Gabe Tardio, if the serve creates even 1 extra soft return per game, Gabe gets more attack reps.
That is terrifying, because now you are not just surviving Ben's patience, you are also dealing with Gabe's aggression. In mixed with Anna Lee, if the serve improves, it means more points where they control the net early. That is how title runs become routine. So that is why it matters. Now let's talk about what happens next, because the next PPA stop is where the story either becomes real or becomes a footnote. Here are the two scenarios. Scenario A, the serve change is the new normal, and it signals a new phase for Ben. If this is true, the implications are big. First, Ben's double ceiling rises. Yes, even higher, because the margins at the top are tiny. A slightly better serve means slightly easier third shots. Slightly easier third shots mean cleaner patterns. Cleaner patterns mean fewer random points. Second, this could reopen the door to singles. Singles is where physical load matters. If Ben can start points with a heavier, deeper serve without extra strain, he can control rallies sooner. That reduces grind. And reducing grind is how you survive singles week after week. Third, it pressures the entire field. If you are a top singles player, you now have to consider a world where Ben is not gone. He may simply be selective. And a selective Ben is dangerous, because if he chooses his spots, he can show up fresh and hungry. Who benefits in this scenario? Ben benefits, his partners benefit, and the tour benefits, because Ben evolving again is a narrative that pulls attention. Who is at risk? Teams that rely on neutral starts are at risk. Singles contenders who want the spotlight are at risk, because the story becomes crowded. Scenario B, the serve change is real, but it is about doubles dominance, not singles ambition. This scenario is also very plausible. Maybe Ben is looking at the season and thinking, I can win a lot of titles by being razor sharp in doubles and mixed, and I do not need to carry singles every week. In that case, the serve change becomes optimization, not chasing everything, choosing what matters, winning smarter. Who benefits? Ben benefits, his mixed partnership benefits, and teams built around doubles excellence benefit because it validates that path. Who is at risk?
Fans who want prime Ben in singles every week might be disappointed, and opponents in doubles and mixed are at risk because they are facing a more efficient Ben. So here is my prediction. I do not think the serve change disappears. If Ben changed it and won immediately, he will keep it long enough to stress test it under pressure. But what I will be watching is not just the serve. I will be watching the returns it forces. Are opponents backing up? Are they taking returns earlier? Are they getting pushed off their spots? Are they giving Ben cleaner thirds? Because that is where you see whether this is truly meaningful. And I will be watching one more thing. Does Ben enter singles at the next stop, or does he stay selective and keep building the doubles first season? Either way, the headline stands. When the GOAT changes a fundamental after 9 years, it is not because he is bored. It is because he sees something coming. So here is the question, A or B. Do you think Ben Johns is gearing up for a serious singles push again this season? Or is this serve change mainly about making his doubles and mixed dominance even harder to stop?